30 days ago, Impact Winter brought blood and blizzards. But is it a cold front still holding strong, or has it thawed out already? 60 days ago, Knights had the style, the monsters, and a killer first impression. But was it enough to stay in the spotlight? And 90 days ago, Canto came back swinging with that flops cover. Cute, collectible, and a quick sellout. But are folks still chasing it, or was it just a flash in the pan? From icy survival tales to cuddly collector covers, we check the pulse on indie books to see what's still burning and what's already fading into black. This is 30, 60, 90 Look Back. "30, 60, 90, this is where we take an opportunity to look at the books that were hot 30 days ago, 60 days ago, and 90 days ago. We have a list here of books that were number one on Cover Price's top 10 list. It's an indie week. Yeah. We're looking at some indie books, which is really cool. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Shane, before we start talking about this list. You might be able to get these books now. So, your thoughts overall on the three books that we're looking at right now?
Just like you said, it's cool to see three indie books in the spotlight. Usually, it's we're looking at an absolute book, at least one. So
or Mark Spears.
Yeah. So it is nice. I'm a sucker for vampire books, so I'm hoping that this Impact Winter actually, whatever happens with it, it gets made, because that would be cool. I haven't read any of these three books, so yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with that book that you just mentioned, Impact Winter. Impact Winter a month ago was the number one book over at Cover Price. At that time, it was $62 near mint, and 19 books sold during that week. The Raws were going for $42, and there was no graded comics being sold. We look forward 30 days to where we are today, and that book has dropped significantly to $10 near mint, and that was on April 20th, which was on Sunday. 30-day period, 20 books have sold during that 30-day period. That's also included in 19. So that means only one book sold afterwards. The book definitely has dropped in value. Raws are now going for about $30, but look, someone picked it up for $10. The high known sale of the book is $62. And when checking the census, as of today, there's only one book in the census, and it's a 9.8.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time when there's production rumors and things like that, and this is probably a case like that where it got picked up, and there's some hype around it because of that, and then now it's just sitting in a studio's pocket waiting for something to happen, possibly.
Yeah, and we're not going to see anything at least for another year or 2 years, or maybe at all. However, this does have an audio book that people do like and do enjoy. This is the one and only. There's no variants of this book. So if you're looking for Impact Winter, this is the one you need to get. That's it. There are series. So this is not the one and only Impact Winter book. There are series that follow it. This is the first of those series. So if you're interested, go check it out. Now's a good time to pick it up if you're interested in picking it up. And it's a one shot, so you don't have to pick up like 4 issues or anything like that. Okay. Our next book is another one that was hot 60 days ago, and that's Knights number one. This book came out in 2023 for Image Comics. On February 17th, it was number one on Cover Price. It was number one on Cover Price for $26, and it had 30 sales during that week. The Raws were going for $19 to grade it. There was no graded copies being sold. As of today, a no grade sold for $4. And during the 60-day period, only 39 copies have sold. The book has dropped in value, $14 near mint. No grades was sold yet. And the highest of the sale was $30. That was February 17th. There's currently 4 books in the census right now. Another one. This one has some hype because there is an animated feature they're talking about that's going to debut in Netflix. But it's a wait and see situation.
Yeah, and I think when we had this book on our list, I think if I remember correctly, both of us were like, just be patient and wait. This one, it's going to calm down.
Yeah. And it's a cool story, it's a cool concept. But like most things, when it's option, that's all it is option. That means someone said, let's think about it. That's all they said. They're not going to any type of production or anything like that. Now, if you want to read it, go ahead and pick it up. It's like I said, $4. It's really cover price now. And just give it time. If it does then show up, it'll have an uptick. But if it's an animated series, it might not have a big uptick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's go to our last book. And I think our last book is the one that's probably underperforming more than any of them. And that is Canto, A Place Like Home, number 6. Cover B, the flops variant that came out for 2025 for Dark Horse Comics. When the book came out, it was super hot on January 20th, week 3, with sales of $60. That was the top sale of the book. Weekly units was 31. The Raws were going for $49, while there were no graded copies as of yet. And as of today, last sale of this book was $8 at a very fine. The Raws have dropped to $7. No grades were sold. And in a 90-day period, we only have 24 copies. The highest known sale of this book was that $60 sale, January 17th. And we only have 7 copies of this book in the census. I said this when we were talking about this book for the 60-day period. Flops has flopped.
Yeah, and we covered it then too. And I think we both agreed that kind of the difference in the momentum is that there wasn't any follow-up covers. Like there wasn't anything to keep the interest there, any more flops variants or anything like that. Unlike, Mark Spears, where the ball got rolling and there's more covers that people can get that keeps their attention on, whereas this was a one-off.
Yeah. And even when we don't want to talk about Mark Spears, we're still talking about Mark Spears.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
He just
it's okay though.
But I'm with you on that. When the momentum is high, then you want to just feed off of that momentum, right? This is a situation where the exact opposite is happening. It's like you might want more, but there is nothing more.
Yeah.
So therefore, you get nothing more.
Yeah. If there was 5 other covers after this that, buy flops that people were interested in, then it's going to drive more sales of this book because they'll be like, oh, I want to get that first one.
Yeah, exactly. So will this book see a significant increase? This one's even more unlikely to in comparison to the other two, because this is based off of a cover. This is a cover by book. And Canto does have a following. I'm not taking that away from it. It has a really good following from what I'm hearing as well. But if it does have a following, chances are they may have this book already. And therefore, no one else is picking this up. That's your 30, 60, 90 look back impact winter. It's in the winter. Nights, not really much. And Canto flopped right now. Again, all books that you can pretty much get them for below the price that most people are looking for. So all of these books are very affordable today.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it just shows again, when we do the monthly show and we get into the slab numbers and the census numbers, that's when you can really see like patience. And that's the thing with these books, like especially independent, where you don't really know. And like you said, if it's going to be animation, then that's going to change it. So, yeah.
All right. We hope you enjoyed this 30, 60, 90. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, what's your thoughts? Did you get any of these books? Do you want to have one of these books? Do you want to have all of these books? Let me know what's your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.